Welcome everybody to another episode of Command Combat Computer Reports. Today we've got Portugal versus Denmark to see who is, once and for all, the greatest country on earth. Alright, so over here on the Portugal side we got some Portuguese cavalry leading the way, followed by some 12-pounder and 6-pounder artillery. Looks like several columns of infantry, regular infantry, and behind them some of the grenadiers. Way over on this flank, we've got Tiradors. We basically have the skirmishers. So sharpshooters all on the left flank, the cavalry leading the way in the center, and the infantry in the back. Not sure where they're going to go here, but we'll see. They are all scrunched on the left flank, so maybe they're going to go after this big hill. That's kind of a popular move on this map. Alright, over here on Denmark's side is a lot more evenly spread out. Oh, they got ski troops going across the plains here. That's the ski troops are the perfect ones to have here, I guess. Skirmishers essentially in front of some light dragoons. Dragoons over there. 12-pounder artillery near the center, and the infantry all way over here, stretching way down this direction. So you basically have you have Denmark just really spread out over on this side, while Portugal is really concentrated in one area. It might actually be to the Portuguese advantage if they are going after that hill, because of the fact that they all have it in one area and they'll have whatever they need right there. But then wherever they go, they are going to be cornered and committed to that area. And by the way, the Denmark has their general staff in the center. So let's see how it goes. Let's get ourselves up on this hill here and watch where everybody moves. Let's push play there. So we can see the Portuguese cavalry predictably is rushing forward to try to take possession of something. Denmark seems content on just pushing forward on all fronts, just slowly and steadily. They're pushing forward a little faster with some sharpshooters over there, so they're going to try to get the sharpshooters into position. Meanwhile, yes, the cavalry is running up to this hill, so it is probably the plan of the Portuguese to take this hill. And the artillery duel is beginning. They're firing down the middle. Denmark seems more interested in just taking out there. And, you know, it was probably quite clever here. You got the Portuguese skirmishers going up that center area, and Denmark seems to be concentrating on them. So it's probably going to prove to have been a very good move if indeed, again, their motivation is, as it appears to be, to get up onto this hill. If that's their goal, then it's probably a good thing for their skirmishers to be causing the artillery to be firing in a different direction, so that Denmark is not concentrating on that. Meanwhile, Denmark seems to be doing a defensive. Their dragoons are actually moving back, and the ski troops are moving back. It is kind of their weaker flank, is the one where the Portuguese happen to be, so probably a wise move. Pull back a little bit, let them have that hill if Denmark is not particularly interested in it. Don't waste troops fighting for something you don't really care about. However, they are going to have to deal with them, and the artillery just happens to be placed in such a way that anybody on this hill is protected from it. So Denmark will probably have to remaneuver their artillery. Right now you can see the Portuguese cavalry is aware of that, and they are behind it, and they're going to bring in their Tiradores, I guess it is, their skirmisher troops into these woods to be able to fire from in there. So anybody who goes in there will have to contend with those woods before moving up on that hill. If Denmark brings their artillery to bear, though, they can just destroy them from a distance. It looks like the Tiradores are moving past there. Meanwhile, they have two lines in the center. Clearly they're to distract. Denmark looked like it didn't want to go into an offensive battle. It looks like they wanted to be in the defense, but they're having to move forward. Now they're starting to move their artillery, repositioning it like I predicted. The rest of their infantry is beginning to move up here towards this end of the map, as predicted they would need to do. Now Tiradores, looks like, yeah, they're going to bring out some sticks. They are going to fortify this hill. Oh! And Denmark is doing what they need to do, which is essentially set up and just start pounding it with artillery. They're going to bring their cavalry around. Hopefully light dragoons will not be stupid enough to charge right into those spikes. Sharpshooters are staying there. It's kind of like this flank doesn't know what to do, but the rest of them know that you just simply have to start moving on this territory. What are the rest of them doing? 12-pounder artillery is slowly moving up that hill. Meanwhile, the infantry is following behind. And the sharpshooters again are in position in these woods, looks like they're going to slow down Denmark as they come swinging around. So Denmark, they have a large army because they have a lot of militia there and some grenadiers and some lifeguards on foot. Denmark obviously will be able to sweep these skirmishers aside, but the skirmishers will indeed slow them down, which is clearly the point. Looks like they're actually charging with their own skirmishers. It's kind of a... There we go, they're going to get in position and have a close range rifleman. Cool. So yeah, I would predict that the Denmark is probably moving all of these guys up here and then just going to surround this hill. These troops here will probably come here and get on this end. These will go up through the woods, and then these will probably swing around over here. That's at least what I would do if I was in that position. Portugal, meanwhile, is keeping their cavalry hidden. And here comes Denmark riding around. They see the spikes. Well, here they're coming with them with some other cavalry and running right into the spikes. So obviously, not too bright. That Denmark cavalry, apparently the player did not see it, or they were just so desperate to take out the Portuguese skirmishers.
All men are running!
Skirmishers that they were willing to sacrifice one or two of their cavalry units, which is not a good choice there. And meanwhile, the Portuguese cavalry came over there to save them. Now Denmark is coming in with their infantry. Now maybe that was the thing. Maybe that was worth it to them to destroy that cavalry to make sure that infantry can come in. Because the sharpshooters are out of place. The infantry is not in place yet. And so now Denmark is actually managing to get in. Let's see if that cavalry is going to get themselves killed again. Yes. They just don't see those spikes. I guess it's just the camouflage spikes there. And Denmark is sacrificed their cavalry. Portuguese just knock out that infantry. So they're going to try to hold this as much as they can. Meanwhile, they're converging on the infantry in those woods. The infantry in the woods is holding off because they can. However, look at that. Denmark has made a major push and it's got to through those woods. All Portugal had were some sharpshooters. They're coming up. The cavalry's already engaged. Or the Portuguese cavalry is already engaged. They're not going to be able to do much. So the Portuguese have now managed to get in through the woods and are pushing up through there. The Denmark, Dutch have gotten through the woods and are pushing through there. They are now on the hill. Portugal has kind of lost its advantage, but they managed to get their infantry in place, and now it's just going to come down to a firing back and forth. Try to be a little tricky here. Charge, of course, spread out. Yeah, there we go. They're going to try to spread out and have a wider range. As you can see, Portugal has a very long range of units. And now Denmark's going to charge. They're going to send a couple of units. Oh man, all of it, all along the front. Here comes the charge. Here, however, these units have slowed down. Oh, this may have saved the Portuguese. Now, of course, they lost their sharpshooters, but those skirmishers. But those skirmishers did slow down. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4 units over here. That might have just been the deciding factor, because up here, the Portuguese do have the advantage, the larger numbers, and as you can see, the Dutch morale is going. And with the artillery now in place, they are just going to chop up the Dutch. Although they have now here we've got some cavalry and here help, but I doubt that they're just enough that they probably needed those 3 other units. Yeah, and you can see the morale of the Dutch just keeps going down, and Portugal still even has their reserves of grenadiers, who, if they start throwing in grenades there, that may just finish the Dutch off. but it's too little too late, and they are still being distracted
Our
by
men
that
are
one
running.
unit of skirmishers out there. Oh, and now here the Dutch are sending in their artillery, which this would have been the smart move. You can see how effective it is on the Portuguese infantry there. They hurt their morale. Had they instead softened them up with that first, that probably would have been more effective. However, would have given the Portuguese time to get themselves positioned on this hill and fortified. So maybe that was their, I think that was their plan. The Dutch really seemed to think if they went through it, they would make it. And now with canister coming in, now that the Portuguese have their artillery in place, Dutch do not have much of a chance, especially with that canister. Look at that. That was just doing a ton of damage. Man, look at all that was there. The Portuguese have held off against that attack, and there we go. There's where that infantry is on its way out. We have one group of infantry down here that the Portuguese, of course, there's only one unit there, but the Portuguese have plenty to defend against them. And now as they reposition, they're going to be hitting the front. Denmark does have one more assault they're going to be able to do with 4 units here. However, the Portuguese sharpshooters have managed to harass them enough that they're narrowing down to 3 units. Actually, it's a general staff and two infantry units plus skirmishers. So, not going to be a lot. However, they do have that artillery that's out there somewhere softening them up. Oh, but the Portuguese have sent cavalry out there. Looks like they silenced the artillery. So the Dutch are not going to be able to use that. They do have the militia back there, which will probably not do much against that cavalry. Alright, so over here we got the Grenadiers defending against the Dutch that are coming in this way. Portugal better move their infantry if they don't want to get flanked over there. Of course, they probably feel as though they can take risks and not really worry too much, but you never want to get too cocky in a situation like this. Although back there you can see that more of their tiradores have come back, and they're probably going to be able to start sniping the Dutch in the back there. Let's see if there's something else going on here. Alright, so the cavalry is back here. They're getting themselves set up. Are they going to finish this battle up? Yes, they are. Look at that. They're coming in right into the back of the Denmark troops. Oh, they're going to go in and get the general. Let's finish that up. Probably a smart move, because once that general is gone, the rest will probably just crumble out of fear. That'll do it for the general, and you can see the morale.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest.
It's just crumbling. So it looks like Portugal has taken their hill, has defended it successfully, and the Dutch are pretty much en route. They have just, a little bit left that the cavalry is finishing up here. So I'll be calling it here in a minute, but thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and you can also watch, we have a command combat battle reports for miniatures as well. Be sure to watch, and happy gaming, everyone!